Hello everyone, and welcome to a new series I've decided to start doing, which is going to be based around clone consoles, mostly Famiclones, but there'll also be Mega Drive and just general plug-and plays and any other things I've got in my collection. And what we'll be doing is we'll be unboxing them, testing them out, and then taking them apart and seeing what's inside them, and just giving a general review and just letting you know whether they're worth buying or not. So we're going to start off today with the D99, which is made by a company called Sue Ball, which probably most of you have never heard of, but they are actually the largest Famiclone company in China. They started in around 1987 and had pretty much two divisions of the company, which one based on hi-fi equipment and stereos and electrical goods, and the other one was based around children's learning activities, which was all pretty much 8-bit consoles built around the Famiclone technology. Now, you'll have to forgive me because I did do some previous research and I did find out who this was on the box here. And she did turn out to be some Chinese celebrity, I do believe. But I can't actually find my research on that now, and I did a quick Google search just and couldn't come up with anything, so I do apologise, but if anybody knows who this lady is, please leave a comment in the section down below. But as I said, yeah, Sue Ball were the largest Famiclone company in China, and were even still allowed to sell the consoles during 2000 and 2015 when China had a console ban. At one point they boasted of having around $600 million in assets and earning around $300 million a year, which is quite phenomenal really. But it does appear that they've possibly ceased trading, gone bankrupt, I'm not sure of, but the website has disappeared as of the end of 2016, and I can't really find out any information on them, so I'm not really sure what's gone on there. But it might be worth me looking into them, because they did so many of these Famiclone products. I could probably do just a complete history video of them. But yeah, taking a look at the box, it's pretty much filled with just Chinese writing, which I can't read, sorry, if anyone's out there. I did actually use an image translator to get some of this translated, but it was just stuff about the console and TV game and just things like that. On the bottom of the box we can see there's a cutout shape there, which is a bit strange, but I think it's so you can read the serial number and things like that, which, as it's from China, it will just run without a step down. You just need to put a 9-volt power supply into it and it will run in UK territory, so that's not too bad. Yeah, also you'll notice on the box the D99 comes with a 4-in-1 cartridge, which on here it says Tetris and a few other games, but with all the D99s it'll be just a random game inside, and wherever you buy it from online it will actually say just a full random game cartridge. And sometimes they do also bundle a 401 cartridge with it as well, or 301, which will usually be titled by Call Boy or Bully Boy, which is actually quite funny when you translate some of the taglines from the website. It says, "Superior quality is the bully's life, perfect service is the attitude of bully." Now I'm sure it's just some bad translation, but yeah, they actually released some cartridges under the name of Bully Boy, which I thought was quite funny. Yeah, now we'll open it up and we'll see what's inside. Right, so as you see, first off we've got the power supply, which obviously as it's from China it'll be 2-pin, but you can just use an adapter and it will just work on a normal 9-volt power supply. We've got the 4-in-1 cartridge, which the one I've got is a Double Dragon cartridge, which is some ROM hacks of Double Dragon 1 to 3. And then we've got Double Dragon 4, which is an absolutely near impossible game to play. It took me an hour to do about 2 inches of the game, and it was just so hard I just had to give up. I'm sure there's people out there that have got the patience to play it, but I haven't. There's something rattling around on the inside of there, but it does still work. It's probably just a bit of plastic or something. And then we've got the console sitting in there. We'll take it out of the box now and have a better look at it. So, taking a look at the device outside the box, we can see that it follows the same shape and the colour palette as the original Famicom. The only difference you'll notice here is that there's no cartridge eject button, which shouldn't really cause a problem, but with this model it does, because the cartridge slot is made from quite cheap material and the pins inside are just generic metal, and when you're pulling the games in and out, it feels like sometimes it's going to actually rip out of the console. And there is a couple of pins bent just from testing the machine, so your longevity of the machine probably isn't going to last you that long. But yeah, you'll also notice it looks quite cheap, but it is quite sturdy really. It's not the flimsiest of plastic, and you could probably drop it and be confident it's not going to just smash on the floor. Yeah, moving on to control pads, you see that they're two made of it's quite decent plastic, but the only problem is, I mean, it feels quite nice, but when you're actually playing, the response on the buttons is quite terrible. You'll go to jump and it just won't happen. Now, some of the very early Famicom videos I've done on the channel, I actually did when I was testing this unit, and you'll notice some of them might look like it's bad gameplay, but realistically it's due to these unresponsive pads. Yeah, we're going to take it apart now and we'll see what's inside, and then we'll test out the full game cartridge that I got with it. Right then guys, if we take the lid off, we'll notice, as I said before, it's an NOAC, Nintendo on a chip, or NES on a chip, however you want to say it. But you'll notice that there is not a lot inside this at all, which is quite common with most Famiclones. They're mostly like this, which is basically, if you see that black blob there, underneath there is some kind of like EEPROM chip, and that basically holds all the data to emulate a NES console. So yes, I did say emulation, which is why you'll notice the differences sometimes in games with the sound and the graphics, because it is just emulating it. Now, because it's emulation, not all games are compatible, but in honesty, in the probably couple of hundred cartridges I've tested over all the Famiclones, the NOAC ones, I've never come across one that hasn't worked. But I'm sure there are a few out there. But yeah, you'll see that other than that, that is it. There's nothing under there, no other chips or anything. This is the video out, which is composite, and your AC adapter port. And then your power and reset buttons are just linked in, just standard buttons, and your wires going to your control pads. And on the underside of the board, it does actually have the D99 model number printed onto the board, so I'm not actually sure if there were any software variants, upgrades or anything that was done to the software over time, but in honesty I doubt it. If you turn the consoles on without a game in, you just get a blank screen, so there's not as if there's any menu or anything in there to have upgraded. So unless it was short bug fixes to the emulation software, then it's probably just no different. But yeah, I'll put this back together now, and then we'll show you some gameplay footage of the Double Dragon cartridge that I got with the system, and we'll see how it all plays out. Right, so taking a look at the 4-game cartridge that we got free with the Sue Ball, we can see that there's just a simple menu, nothing special's really needed here with the 4 games, 4 games listed on. And we've got Double Dragon 1, which is just the standard Famicom version of the game. It's in Japanese, but you don't really need to read anything. Everybody knows what Double Dragon is. And then the second game on the cartridge is Double Dragon 3. Now this isn't the full game, it is actually only a sampler version. It's also in Japanese again. But this plays out, I think it's till level 3, I think it is. There's a helicopter boss, and once that's defeated, the game ends, I think, if I remember rightly. But yeah, it's just the title screen does say sampler version. I don't think I caught it on the video. But the third game is Double Dragon 4, which is a ROM hack. It's actually, I believe, a Target Renegade reskin. It's quite well done for a reskin. Everything has been completely done, and the game has been completely reworked, but you can tell it's not a true official Double Dragon product, and it is quite clunky. There is some gameplay on the channel of this one already, and I will try and do more to get something lengthy out there, but it's an interesting game, but due to the unresponsive controls at times, it is quite irritating as well. But the gem on the cartridge, which I forgot to mention earlier, is actually this game, Final Fight, released by Capcom. Well, actually it wasn't released, it was created very late in the NES's life, and they decided not to release it, which is a shame really, because it's an awesome game. I believe there is lengthy gameplay of this on the channel, if not a full playthrough. I don't think I actually completed it, but I will try and do this one again because it is an awesome game. So if you can find any multi-cart with this on, then I would recommend getting it just for this. Now, to wrap everything up, is the Subor D99 worth buying? Other than for this game, no. I wouldn't recommend it for a Famiclone unless you can get it for extremely cheap. Like in the UK, I'm talking under £5, and it might be worth picking one up if you haven't already got a Famicom or Famiclone. But due to the cartridge slot, which just feels like it's going to rip out of the console every time you take a cartridge out, and due to the controls, which are just absolutely terrible, then I really wouldn't recommend it for a system that you're going to play for time. So if you're going to buy it just because you like Famiclones like me, and you just want to shove it in a corner and maybe use it to mod one day, then yeah, fine, go and grab yourself one. But if you want to use it, then there are many far better Famiclones out there that I would recommend, and I will do so in other videos. So hopefully everybody enjoyed watching the video, and please hit the subscribe button, and I'm always happy for feedback, because I know the production value of this isn't great, but I'm working on a budget of 0, so as time goes on I will try and get better equipment. I'm looking at lighting equipment at the minute and things like that. So if anybody has any ideas on the production value, please leave your constructive criticism down below. And yeah, subscribe, and look forward to more of these Famiclone teardown videos where I will be taking them all apart. And it won't just be Famiclones, it'll be many other clones of just many other weird obscure devices, and we'll take them apart, and as they go on we'll get ones with chips that haven't got black blob glooped all over them, so we'll be able to read the chip, and I'll be able to talk a little bit more about what it is and how things work. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.